What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to T3G. My name is Dalibor, and today we are going into our second to last video in this deep dive into the podcast setup. We're talking about clamps, baby. Clamps! Stay tuned. Whatever it is that you do, do the damn thing. So with the two cameras and lighting, I had to figure out a way to compactly hold this stuff up. Now, there is a right here on the screen, there is a tack form clamp that I use. I love, but it was just a hair too large for what I needed for this area because it was just kind of in the way. Everything is big about it, and it's the super clamp, so that's why. So I had to figure out something smaller. Now, I did already have this little guy. This is just one of those adjusting clamps. Typically, people will use it on a like a bar or a tripod just to add on additional things because it has two holes on the side. Now, I did pick up a whole bunch of these double post adapters that go into the 1/4-20 holes. I have a couple other adapters for microphones, but these is what I needed. This other hole is the, what is it, the 5/16? It's on the screen. I think it's 5/16. So you have an option for either or. I might switch this because what I use this for is this light. The drawback that I have here is even if I attach it this way, right, it doesn't tighten down. Like if I tighten it any further, it's going to crack. So what I ended up doing is just, it's not moving, so I just set it this way. It's loose on here, but it doesn't matter. It's not moving around. So that's not that big a deal, but just for, I don't know, for like completion, like just to get the completion achievement and make sure everything's tight, I might put the other arm on here that I have, which should allow me even more flexibility with where I position that light, which could be nice. Could be nice. We'll see. We'll see if we can maybe get a little bit better overhead, because I am going to be doing an overhead video for next week for the podcast. This week's podcast episode is coming out tomorrow, so make sure you check that out. Panels on pages if you don't know. This is the main rig. Look at this. Look at this. This looks like I'm doing something, right? This looks like I'm making something happen. Maybe not quite with the tension arm here. This is a Camvade or Camvade, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, a clamp that I'm using to hold the two cameras. The one camera, I'm using just another one of those adapters right here. This has 1, 2, 3, so 2, hold on. 2, 4, 5 1/4-20 holes. Smaller holes here. I'm not sure what those would be for. Maybe some small rig stuff, because I think this might work with some of the small rig adapters. And then there's also another 5/16 in the middle of this side here. Nonetheless, I'm using one of those holes to attach just straight on the Nikon that I use to shoot down. On the bottom through the 1/4-20, I'm using the tack form arm. I think this might be, this is not quite the smallest configuration of the tack form arm you can get, but this is a very short version of the tack form arm you can get. And I'm using the old tack form head here. I've been around the tack form lifestyle here for a minute, so I've got some of the older pieces as well. And then I actually picked up, I don't think I even have it up here. This is, hold on, I'm gonna take this off. I can take it off the easy way. I don't know why I'm spinning this whole thing. That's why I love these tack form adapters. This right here is a soft shoe adapter. I actually think, no, it did not come with this. It came with something. Forget what it came with, but is a soft shoe adapter, but that also has a 1/4-20 here. So I put this in here, and then it gives me a 1/4-20 on top of the camera, which is nice. Seeing as how easy this is to tighten down, I might actually have to switch this to the new tack form adapter because they have a similar, better grip screw here. The only downfall here is that there's a little, even with everything tightened, and I am tightened, there's still a little play. There's still a little play in that. And I want to find a way to resolve that. I'm thinking maybe a cage. That actually might be the answer. Just putting the camera in a cage. That way I am just straight hooking into a 1/4-20. I think that's going to be the way to go. Nonetheless, the reason I use this tack form arm is because it gives me a lot of adjustability. I have, obviously you can see here, I've got it going almost exactly. So this is where the bottom of the shelf back here is. So it's going basically as high up as it can. So I'm getting vertical lift. And then I've also got the the ball joint on both ends that will allow me to adjust this in any which way that I want. So I get just the right square off, pretty much square off. Little tweaks still need to be made as far as positioning, just to get it quite perfect where I want it to be. But so far I like the look and I like how it's set up. What I also like is the fact that this light is above me, and that's what we're going to talk about next time. Actually, I lied, so there is going to be 2 more videos. There's going to be this main light that I use, which that's kind of a complex video, so that's going to probably be, I'm going to try to get it for next week. I've got to disassemble this area to put it in. I'll explain that next week. Nonetheless, so there's going to be 2 more videos for this project, for this setup. But yeah, that's the clamps that I'm using. Of course, linked down below, as well as the tack form arm, if you guys want to check any of this out. I will also include a link to the 3rd clamp, which is on screen right now, that I bought. I didn't use it for this, but I actually still think it's a very, very good clamp. So check those out if you are looking for ways to mount cameras and mount gear onto stuff. So we talked about the overhead light, we talked about the clamps here, we have talked about the headphone that I use for the podcast with guests, and the camera that I now use for the podcast with guests. The next video here is going to be on this center light. It's a bar light, but it's magnetic. It's got some cool stuff. I've also done some mods to it. You'll see, it's a good time. And then the last one is going to be accent lighting. And you can actually see it right there. I picked those up just on a whim at Walmart, and it's been a blast. And I might even be adding to that with moving the other light over there, but we'll see about that in those videos. That's going to be it for this one. If you have any questions about these clamps, about the setup in general, please do drop that down below, and I will see you on Saturday with a narrative video for sure this time. I'm gonna just reshoot it, and I'm gonna do green screen because that tracking nonsense was really frustrating. So we're just gonna green screen it, do it simple. It'll be a fun time. See you there.